My name is Ching Hee Huang, and I'm on a mission to prove that real Chinese food is simple to cook and a far cry from some of the gloopy sauces and greasy fried food often found in takeaways in the UK. I've been passionate about Chinese food since my grandmother taught me to cook when I was 5 years old. She showed me how to use fresh ingredients in easy-to-cook recipes and to create dishes that are flavoursome and healthy. One of the most prized fresh ingredients in Chinese cooking is seafood. In this program, I'll show you some of the secrets of cooking fish, Chinese style. In search of some of the freshest fish in the UK, I head to the north of Scotland to reel in some shellfish for a magical langoustine stir-fry.
Can't get fresher than this. This is divine.
I'll show you how to conjure up the delights of sea bass in a ginger, lime and beer sauce. I'm going to keep the head on because in Chinese tradition that is a sign of unity and balance. Find the perfect ingredients for succulent monkfish with ginger. This is really the freshest you can get just off the catch. Nice bloody gills. And see if my Chinese version of traditional British fish and chips will impress revellers at a ceilidh.
Does that mean you approve?
No, it needs salt.
It needs salt? What are you talking about?
In China, it's believed that eating fish will help your wishes come true. And this is certainly a dream recipe. I want to cook you my steamed sea bass in a ginger lime beer sauce, and it couldn't be simpler. Slice a few slits, one side, and then the other. And I'm going to keep the head on because in Chinese tradition that is a sign of unity and balance. Next, slice some ginger, just big enough so they fit into the slits of the fish. And this is going to impart a delicious aromatic heat and it's going to taste fantastic. And on the other side, so the ginger's gone into the slits and now all we do is just place it on a heat-proof plate in the bamboo steamer. Before we steam the fish, I'm going to add a little bit of Shaoxing rice wine, so about a tablespoon. In Chinese cooking, Shaoxing rice wine is a classic seasoning for fish and meat dishes, adding bittersweet flavours. Next, lay some finely sliced spring onions on the fish. Steam over boiling water for 7 to 8 minutes until the fish is opaque. In Chinese culture, we try to balance opposite influences, known as yin and yang. They're the controlling elements in nature which should be balanced for a harmonious life. This dish, it's got those elements. The sea bass is very yin, and the ginger and rice wine, which I've had a splash of that, they are very, very yang. This is the perfect balanced dish, and in Chinese cooking, we're always trying to achieve this perfect balance. Let's just check on the sea bass. The sea bass is lovely and it's cooked. You can see the meat has turned opaque, the eyes have turned white, and the flesh is lovely and flaky as it just gives as you give it a slight poke. And for the sauce, finally grate some ginger. This is the hot or yang to the fish's cool yin. For additional freshness, some zingy lime zest, 2 tablespoons should be about right. What we want to do now is get the wok nice and hot. And I'm just going to place the sea bass here. Just let that plate cool slightly. My special ingredient for this dish is Chinese beer. This is really going to add a delicious sweetness and really complement sea bass. If you can't get Chinese beer, then you can just use a light lager. So wok lovely and hot in with some groundnut oil, about a tablespoon or 2, and then give this a good swirl. Then very, very quickly in with the ginger. Before the ginger burns, put the fish carefully into the wok. Add a drop more rice wine or dry sherry, some light soy sauce, and freshen it up with lime zest. Finally, the beer. No drinking, just pour. Just pour some of the beer over the fish. Cooking like this will burn off some of the alcohol, but don't burn too much because it makes a delicious sauce. So just let that gently braise and let the sea bass soak in those flavours. Now just before serving, just want to chop up some coriander, chopped stalks and the leaves, and just throw that all into the wok. And that's ready to serve. Now, to go with the sea bass, I've got some wild rice and basmati rice. The wild rice adds a nutty flavour and bite, contrasting with the neutral flavour and softer texture of basmati. And the rice is going to allow you to soak up all those delicious flavours from the beer, the ginger, spring onion and the coriander. So this is my steamed sea bass in delicious ginger lime beer sauce. Some of the best fishing grounds in the UK are off the Scottish coast, so I'm heading to the very far north of Scotland in search of more fresh ingredients. In Chinese cooking, we love to use as many different types of seafood as we can get our hands on. First stop is Ullapool, in search of the key ingredient for langoustines with baby leeks and samphire.
Hi, Sandy.
Hiya.
Hiya.
Sandy's been fishing langoustine for 23 years.
Do you like langoustines? Do you eat them then?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah?
We boil them.
You boil them?
Yeah, we boil them first of all. And then either eat them just simply as boiled item, or else my wife Barbara makes them into a creamy sauce or something.
It's best when it's simple and
I think so too.
fresh, because you can taste the meat,
And
the
actually,
sweetness, right?
If we catch some today and you taste them, they're very sweet. Very sweet.
With my mouth watering, we head off in the hope that Sandy's line of 40 pots, inspected every day he's fishing this tidal bay, will have done their job. The fishing hasn't been good recently, but I have my fingers crossed.
Oh, we have some. Fantastic. Well, we've got, is that 4?
Sandy's a specialist. He only fishes for langoustine.
Right, you want to head back in?
Yeah. Let's get a nice quiet spot and then
We'll
set up and I'll cook for us.
The Chinese word for fish, yu, sounds like the word for riches or abundance, which is why many Chinese believe that eating fish will bring you luck. We're also very particular about the freshness of our seafood and often buy live fish from markets to ensure perfect freshness, which means that texture and flavours will be at the very best. These langoustine couldn't be fresher. Cook them by plunging them into boiling water. And if you can't get langoustine, try large prawns.
How's this for cooking?
This is the most idyllic spot ever. You could have
it's
picked
calm,
a
you can
better
set up.
spot.
The dish is so simple, you can even cook it on a boat. A great setting. I'm going to stir fry them with a mix of local and Chinese ingredients.
Okay, Sandy, so perfect evening meal,
Yeah.
perfect gorgeous scenery. Got the wok, nice and hot. Now, oil, just about a tablespoon. Do you do much wok cooking?
No, I don't. No,
No?
don't do much cooking at all.
I've got here some chopped garlic.
Okay.
All right, do you like garlic?
I do.
Yeah? The thing is, once you put these in, you need to stir really quickly. Otherwise they catch. Okay? And then in with the langoustines. Oh, of course, you know, some people like to pull the shells off and then cook them, just the meat only, because
Yes,
they don't want to get
yes,
their hands
yep.
dirty. But I love it because it's real Chinese style to get in there, get your fingers dirty. It's the whole essence of eating.
That's the way I like to eat them. I
Yeah?
just to break them and eat them without cutlery. Just, yeah.
And then in with some of this marsh samphire. It's quite hardy, this stuff, but it's quite delicious.
Samphire, or sea asparagus, is a fleshy green plant which grows in coastal marshes.
But this has already been cooked and preserved in a bit of brine,
Yes.
so it's got that sourness. And I don't mind even putting a couple of tablespoons of that in there, because that's going to complement the sweetness of the langoustine. And then very quickly in with some Shaoxing wine. This is a bit like dry sherry. We love cooking with this, just to give it some flavour. And then a bit of light soy sauce.
Okay.
If you can't get the samphire, then I'd usually go for a little bit of garlic chives. In lastly with some baby leeks and lots of spring onion. And I think that's it. Let me have a quick taste. See if that's nice. Ooh, got a bit of claw. If you like a bit of savoury sour, I think that's good. Ready to serve. Now let's have a taste. I'll give you one of these.
Yes, it's not too sour. It's okay. It's nice.
Okay?
Very nice.
And have a bite of the langoustine.
Very sweet. Yeah, very sweet.
Very sweet with a bit of this. Delicious, the best.
I would say the best.
Can't get fresher than this. This is divine.
Leaving Sandy and his wonderful langoustine behind in Ullapool, I head north.
4, 6, 8, 60.
Kinlochbervie is one of the premier white fish ports in the UK, right on the northern coast of Scotland.
72, 4.
Over 4,000 tonnes of fish are landed here every year and promptly shipped all over the UK and Europe.
5 and 66, 66, 68, 70, 72, 4, 76.
I want to cook with the freshest fish I can find. At the daily auction in the fish market, my eye is caught by a magnificent monkfish. This is really the freshest you can get just off the catch. Nice bloody gills. Oh, look, something here. That's its dinner. What's that then?
That shouldn't be there.
When you're looking for a fresh fish, check the eyes are clear. The fish is bouncy to the touch and it doesn't smell of fish. It should smell only of the water where it was caught. One man who knows his fish is Stuart, a regular fish buyer at the market.
Just any of them, just a half box. That's 3 here. Alright, one of them.
So what's your favourite fish then?
I like hake.
Hake.
Yeah.
Hake. Oh, fantastic. Because you've got monkfish, you've got squid,
Turbot.
turbot over there.
With the auction over, I grab some ingredients to show Stuart a couple of straightforward Chinese dishes that'll make the most of the fresh fish.
I know you like your monkfish. I'm going to cook you Chinese style.
Perfect.
Okay?
Right.
So you've got gorgeous fillets, 2 nice juicy pieces. Yeah? Can you help me cut just maybe 6 pieces?
6
then?
bits.
Yeah. Right. I'm going to get the wok on, nice and hot first. Have you got a wok at home?
Aye.
Stuart?
I've got 2.
Have you?
Yep.
Oh, great.
Full stainless and one with a wooden handle.
Oh, fantastic. Very good.
I prefer the
I
one
love
with
the wooden handle. Yeah,
the one with the
because
wooden
you can really sort of get in there.
It's the same as nice. Nice with a wooden handle is better than plastic handle.
Yeah, better grip, isn't it? Feels good. So in with some corn oil. Okay, give that a good swirl. This is really simple, right? So, just in with the fish fillet.
Them all in at once.
Yeah, all at once. They're quite meaty, so they're going to sort of hold their shape quite well.
Add some Shaoxing rice wine or dry sherry.
In with a little bit of soy sauce. Quite a few glugs of light soy sauce.
Quite a few.
Yeah, quite a few.
Next, some finely chopped garlic, chilli and ginger.
Come and smell. Can you smell that? You look really dubious. What's wrong?
I've no sense of smell.
You have no sense. Why?
I reckon. Ever since I broke my nose, I've never had a sense of smell.
Oh.
That's a real shame. It really does smell fantastic. Carefully turn over the fish.
Lovely. Lots of juice coming out. There's a lot of sweetness from this fish. It's great. Look at the colour on that as well. Fantastic.
Now roughly chop some spring onion, coriander and finally chives.
How are the fish doing? That's cooking nicely.
Add these when the fish is cooked, which should take about 10 minutes, but only when you've turned off the wok.
You do it when it walks off.
Yeah, you do when the wok's up because the coriander, you see, it's just going to wilt. And I don't want it to be overly cooked. I just want it to be just softened down. Okay, great. So ready to dish up. I've got some rice and I've got some vegetables. Pre-cooked some broccoli and some asparagus.
Also some rice. I'm using a variety called Thai fragrant, to which I add some sesame oil, chives and spring onions.
Can you taste the sauce?
Beautiful. Really nice. Beautiful.
It's really fresh. Really sweet.
Tastes different done in a wok.
Tastes different done in a
frying
wok.
pan or like, you know.
Yeah, it's because you've got a slight smokiness.
That's lovely.
Would you cook that at home? It was so quick, wasn't it?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Now, a very Chinese way to cook scallops with some strong flavours.
Right, Stuart,
Okay.
I'm going to show you my black bean scallops.
Okay.
Okay? You don't like scallops though, don't you?
Not
You
me
tell me.
personally, no.
Why not? They're so delicious. I
Because
can't
it was-
believe it. Are you going to be convinced, I hope?
Right,
Yeah?
right, hope so.
Okay. Do you know how to do this? To clean a scallop?
I've seen it, but
You've
I haven't
seen
done
it. You haven't done
No.
it? Okay. Okay, this is what you do. Just really quick tip. That's the flat bit. We just lay that on there, okay, and get a tea towel. Just hold it down. And then if you can get a little space, just get your knife in there. Just slide your knife right the way through to the end. And then it opens up.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it, because you cut right through. And then you reveal all that. That's the piece of meat that we want. That bit there, that's the coral. The roe, and that's delicious as well. Some people love to eat that too. I'm going to take it all out.
As a precaution, even though these are diver-caught scallops and therefore both ecologically sound and relatively clean, I rinse them in cold water to remove any possible grit or dirt.
So you just damp it dry like that, just to remove any excess moisture. So the scallops are done, and then I'm going to make a delicious paste.
My favourite fragrant trio, finely chopped chilli, ginger and garlic. But this sauce also uses black beans, made by fermenting soybeans with garlic, salt and a host of spices.
Pick one of those and have a taste. What do you reckon?
Oh, they're all right.
Is that all right?
So Stuart's not keen on scallops and he doesn't seem entirely convinced by the black beans. But I'm sure I can change his mind.
Let me bosh it.
Yeah, you can do that. Give that a good wash. And then I'm going to just add about a tablespoon. This is Shaoxing rice wine.
Right.
It's really strong and it's got this bittersweet flavour. If you don't have this, you can use dry sherry. Have a taste. What? It's so sorry. It's a bit sweet, like bittersweet. No? You don't approve? All right then.
Something I hope is more to Stuart's taste, some soy sauce.
Don't need to mash up too much now
Right.
because we like a bit of when it's all bitty and it's got texture.
Spread the paste over the scallops. Surround the scallop with some pre-soaked fine noodles. These ones are made from mung beans. Some drops of water to help the sauce along.
Just drizzle just a little bit of water because that just helps create the sauce because the flavour from the
steam
all
will
the
knock out.
sweetness and from the scallops is all going to come out and it's going to make this delicious sauce.
This is looking like a bit of a challenge. Stuart doesn't like scallops, black beans or Shaoxing wine, the three main ingredients in this dish.
So pop them on, one on top of the other and then lid on and then onto steamer like that. So that's going to steam about 5 to 6 minutes.
After 6 minutes, I hold my breath as I take the scallops with black beans and Shaoxing rice wine out of the steamer.
Get that? What do you think? Should be so fresh it just falls off.
Lovely.
And you've got to have a bit of the noodles as well. The sauce just gets in there and it's just really light and delicate, just gives it a different texture. The Chinese love like the kolkan, mouthfeel, different texture. And not just
That's beautiful.
about the flavour.
A result! Against the odds, one satisfied fish buyer. So that's my wok fried monkfish and scallops with black bean. The scallops in black bean sauce is an elegant dish fit for an emperor and not a dish you would expect to find in a Chinese takeaway. Unlike that traditional British favourite, fish and chips, ordered by loads of Brits in Chinese takeaways every week. But I'm going to turn that on its head and cook fish and chips in an authentic Chinese style. I'm going to try them out on the crowd at a ceilidh tonight in the local hotel, the social heart of village life. For the chips, peel some sweet potatoes and chop into wedges.
When my grandmother used to make this for me, we didn't have ovens. So my grandfather used to dig a hole in the earth and fill it with charcoal, heat that up, wrap the sweet potato in newspaper, and then roast it really slowly for a good few hours. It was delicious.
Put the peeled wedges in some oil trays and toss with black pepper, chili flakes and salt.
I want a little bit of cracked black pepper on them. I want a little bit of the dried chili flake on them. So really lovely and freckled. The sweetness comes from the sweet potato, a little hint of chili kick from the dried chili flakes. And then that's into the oven for 20 to 30 minutes. Now onto the breadcrumbs for the fish. So I'm just going to season this a little bit more to complement all the other flavours I've got. And I've got here some ground white pepper. So just a good sprinkle in there. And then in with a little bit of dried chili flakes, as before. Okay, beautiful. And then in with some sea salt. It's that simple. Give this a good mix. Great, this is great. I feel like I'm almost like building sandcastles.
Next, prepare a fillet, leaving the skin on of any kind of white fish. I'm using haddock. If you don't feel confident about filleting the fish, ask your fishmonger to do it for you.
So it's a gorgeous piece of fillet. I'm going to cut this into nice long thin strips and then obviously coat them in the seasoned breadcrumb. And they're going to be brilliant because they're perfect finger food.
For the seasoning, finely chopped spring onion.
If you go to Hong Kong or in China, seafood is mostly cooked with ginger, a bit of Shaoxing wine and some spring onion. It's that simple.
So that's what I'm doing. Grate some ginger over the fish, sprinkle with spring onions, a drizzle of Shaoxing rice wine, some salt, and ground white pepper.
Just massage all these flavours into the fish. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this, leave it marinating in the fridge for 20 minutes is perfect. Okay, so the haddock's been marinating for about 20 minutes, and then just lightly coat each one. First in the flour, because that'll help get it lovely and crispy, and then into the egg, and that'll help act like a glue for this fantastic breadcrumb mix. I don't normally like to cook deep fried food because it's not particularly healthy, but if you make sure that the oil is hot enough, what it does is it cooks the outside, crisps it up, and it doesn't let any more oil seep in. So it's the heat that then cooks the fish. Okay, so ready to throw these in. Now I've got a really good Chinese utensil, it's called a spider, and this is going to help me lift all the delicious crispy fish out. So, just going to use my chopstick and just check. This cooks in a matter of minutes. That's done. So just going to scoop them out.
Drain on some kitchen paper.
And it smells fragrant. I can really get the spring onion and the Shaoxing wine. So I'm just going to have a little taste. I can really taste the bittersweetness from the Shaoxing wine, but the haddock is delightfully sweet. And that wasn't so much food miles, that's more like food inches.
So that's my Chinese version of fish and chips. Also on my menu tonight, a classic shellfish recipe, chili crab. And I'm going to use a great cheats shortcut using tomato ketchup for the sauce.
I'm cooked this crab for about 7 minutes, and I'm going to cook this with some gorgeous noodles for the Kaylee tonight. Now, this is still quite hot to handle, but I'm going to cook or make the sauce actually first. So for that, I've got a few tablespoons of ketchup, and it is surprising to use ketchup, but it's this delicious sweetness that I want. So it's going to be spicy, it's going to be savory, it's going to have this gorgeous sweetness, and also it gives great color as well.
Put that into a bowl of water to dilute. Add some light soy sauce, some sugar, and some corn flour to thicken.
And give that a good stir. Now, for the crab, all I want to do now to prepare it is just take the claws off.
and they come off quite easily. Okay, and this bit is the tail of the crab, so we just snap that bit off because it's not very tasty, there's no meat there. In case the juices of the crab splatter everywhere, I've got a tea towel. Just place that over like that, and then I just want to chop it down the middle in half, and then we've got bits of the body like so, and the other half. All I want to do now is just get rid of this bit. This has got the gills and lungs of the crab, and there's a bit of the brown meat as well, because that's the brains, and so this is what we want to discard. And then the other bit that you need to make sure you get rid of is this, what's called the dead man's fingers, and that's not edible. And on this one as well. And then I need a hot wok. Crack the crab claws but leave the meat in the claws. Roughly chop a chili. The wok is nice and hot, little bits of oil. You can use groundnut oil or vegetable oil. Into the oiled hot wok with ginger, garlic and chilies. And the crab, keep stirring to avoid it catching and burning. The crab is already cooked, so it won't need long in the wok. Fantastic, I can get all the garlic and the ginger and the chili. Smells amazing. Add the tomatoey sauce prepared earlier. Roughly chop some greens, spring onions and coriander. Add some lime juice for a bit of a zing. Then some pre-cooked noodles. In with the noodles, a good handful or two. And then give that a good stir. Make sure that the delicious sauce just coats all the noodles and the crab, and then add in the coriander and the spring onions. In China, we have a whole plate of a dish like this, and just really get stuck in. Spicy, sweet. The freshness really comes through the crab. But again, the crab absorbs all those wonderful flavors and it just works so well. It's fantastic. Okay, it's ready to serve. So now it's time to test my Chinese version of classic fish and chips and my chili crab on the locals. Okay, then have a good taste.
Very nice, thank you.
Yeah?
Very nice.
Not do you like it? Delicious, huh? I like the fact that you're getting all your hands dirty. It's a very good thing. Haddock goujons and sweet potato chips. Chinese style.
The fish you cook to make what's up nicest.
Does it meet your approval?
No, it's nice, needs salt.
It needs salt? What are you talking about? It needs salt.
No,
I tell you,
salt.
give me some of that chili dip. Finger licking good, eh?
Lovely.
I'm really happy that the locals are so enthusiastic about my Chinese way of cooking such wonderfully fresh seafood in such easy recipes. For more recipes and masterclasses, go to bbc.co.uk/Chinese Food Made Easy.
More Chinese food made easy next Monday at 8:30. And you can cook in a different country tomorrow night. It's Indian food made easy at 8 here on BBC HD.